You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Chrissie, and joining me is my co-host, Thad. Thad, how are you doing today?
I am feeling like I'm finally going to know what's happening in the next episode of my life after the last 2 years, so that's great.
Yeah, you gotta find out if some of those people died that we're pretty sure didn't die, because we've seen pictures of them from after, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know Uhura and Sam Kirk, they're toast for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I just rewatched the finale yesterday again, and I'm like...
I literally just watched it,
Yeah.
I finished it, 30 minutes ago.
Well, there you go. Okay. All right. Right.
Actually, not even that, 20 minutes ago.
All right. And also joining us today is writer, Trek fan, and Tuvok superfan, Benjamin Nielsen. How you doing, Benjamin? Thank you for joining us.
I am doing so well. Thank you both for having me on. Long-time listener here, first-time caller. So I'm glad that I get to share a little bit about an upcoming project with y'all later, but mostly I'm excited to talk about my personal favorite topic. New episodes of Trek are coming.
Yes. That's one of the best topics.
If there are any Thad groupies out there who have followed me from podcast to podcast, you may remember Benjamin from way back in the day as a guest on Stargate Weekly and Delta Flyer.
Nice.
If there are some
Delta
Thad
Flyers.
groupies, I'm very sorry.
I think those groupies are just me. So yes, from back in the before times, we definitely talked about Voyager and Stargate.
Nice.
So exciting times.
Also, I've known you for years, and I don't think I knew you were a Tuvok superfan. So, what the heck?
You must have known as a Tuvok superfan. He is the greatest Vulcan ever written, and
I agree with that.
One of the best Trek characters ever. Just unbothered Vulcan, man.
Yeah.
Has the best one-liners in Star Trek.
That is correct.
That's true. That's true.
He's annoyed by all the same people we are.
Also true. All right. Well, before we jump into our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make this show possible, particularly our associate producer, Carl Wonders. Listeners, you can hear your name listed as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10, and your subscription of any amount at patreon.com/BQN keeps all of the shows on the network ad-free. All right. Well, we are here to look forward to Strange New World Season 3 because we just found out... Huh?
I just said, heck yeah.
You know, it's been a while since we did this, and when I didn't hear what you said, I just heard your voice, and I was like, I said the wrong TV show, didn't I? That was immediately my first thought. I was like, did I say Discovery or Lower Decks? And
No. I'm just excited for more Star Trek. What was
me too.
It has been a minute since we had new Star Trek to look forward to.
True.
I know,
True.
that's right.
Yeah. At least with any, other than just it's amorphous out there.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, listeners, now that I've revealed my, oh, shoot. What's the word? Imposter syndrome. Yes. Okay. So, yay. Star Trek. So season 3 starts on Thursday, the 17th of July with a 2-episode release. And that is going to be approximately a month after a bunch of people at the Tribeca Film Festival get to see it. Is it a film festival or is it a convention?
Yeah, it's a film festival in New York. I think it's mid-June. I want to say the 14th is sticking in my head, but that may just be the date the festival starts. I'm not 100% sure. If you want to go to it, I think tickets are $40. You can go on Tribeca's website and buy a ticket, and you can go to see the first 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds in a theater with a bunch of Trekkies. I'm not able to go. I wish I could. It would be cool.
Yeah.
At first, so I'm glad that we're not getting the end of July like we had originally been speculating. It is somewhat annoying that we have to wait another month after the premiere of the film festival, but that sort of thing is pretty common. A lot of time, like I know, a lot of times there'll be shows will show a preview at San Diego Comic-Con or other conventions, and then the show itself will come out a couple months later. That's not that uncommon, even if it does annoy us as Trekkies knowing that show's ready to go, but we still have to wait a month.
And we have to trust that the people in the theater won't be jerks.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. It usually isn't. They have done these early ones before. And
they do the even when they haven't done film festival things, they've often done like a premiere the weekend before.
Right.
I went to the one for the
You've
first
been
2 seasons of Stranger Worlds, actually.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't remember seeing any spoilers online from those, so
yeah.
I
feel
wouldn't
like
worry about it.
there's not a lot that's spoilery probably in those first 2 episodes. I mean, like
You find out who lives, who
joking.
dies.
Right, and the only person I think is in question there is Battelle, and we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But
Because obviously, La'an doesn't have the plot armor of being around in TOS, but we have seen from the trailers that she is in later episodes of Strange New Worlds, so she's safe.
just had a ridiculous thought.
What's that?
What if everything we see for the whole season is actually stuff that happens before, and then we find out what? That's not going to be the case because
the season 3 finale.
We've seen different hair.
Yeah.
But that just
season
popped in my
3
head, and I
finale
had to
is
voice it because that would be like some Game of Thrones stuff right there. We're going to completely throw you off.
I was in a group chat with some people, and they commented that the poster for season 3 doesn't have either Scotty or Carol Kane's character, whose name just popped out of my head.
Pelia, I think, right?
Pelia, yes.
And someone replied, "Well, maybe Scotty dies in episode 2."
I feel like we're just getting to know him. Oh no.
Oh, that's going to be too bad. We don't have almost 60 years worth of background. Yeah.
So I went.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say maybe it's an O'Brien thing. Maybe he does die and he's replaced by himself in 6 hours in the future.
I went through a whirlwind binge watch of Strange New Worlds in the past couple days. I ended up having to skip the 3 episodes of season 2 that I've seen like 6 times each. But other than that,
so that's Those Old Scientists and
Subspace Rhapsody, and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's just a really good
memorized
episode.
It. Yeah.
But other than that, I watched all of them, and I thought I had forgotten that we actually get Scotty's voice off screen in the finale of season 1.
Oh, I had forgotten that too.
Because that's the one that takes place in the alternate future.
Is it the same actor? Did they do that kind of
I don't think
background?
it's the same actor.
Probably not,
it doesn't sound like it. But it's a Scottish voice. He's never named, but it's clearly supposed to be.
Nice. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember at the time being like, oh, so we're getting all the action figures in here by the end of this. Great. I'm excited. That's what I knew we were headed somewhere good.
Yeah, they also make a coy reference to the chief medical officer, but you never actually see or hear him.
Yeah, they're just 2 good possibilities there. I mean,
well, it can't be Mbenga because he has to go off to Starbase Vanguard.
that's true. I was thinking, what's his name? Bryce, the one in the cage.
Boyce.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or it could be Piper from Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yeah? Okay, so 3 possibilities. There we go.
There's just a medical convention on the ship, and they all show up at the same time.
Yes.
I'm still holding out hope for the... I say Mbanga has to go to Vanguard because I'm still holding out hope for the Vanguard TV series someday.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a Vanguard show. I need
They could
the
so
Destiny
easily
novels turn into a...
spin it off from DS9.
Oh, yeah.
Or not DS9. Strange New Worlds. Now I did it.
From the DS9 of TOS, yes.
Yeah. They could so easily do an episode of Strange New Worlds as a backdoor pilot for Vanguard. And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm very
that
on
would be
board with the
and then-
Destiny books as well, Chrissy. I'm very
Yeah,
on
see,
board
I've
with that.
been saying we need that as a mini-series, but
Very on board.
Why not get yet another Borg origin story?
why not? It's the best one.
Yeah. Well, technically, we haven't had a Borg origin story. We've just had so many other things.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
But
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
Destiny, I feel... So Destiny is complicated because they would have to
It is.
change so much at this point. But yes, they could still do the overall idea of it. They could still do the stuff with the Columbia, and they could just change a lot in what happens. And yeah.
Yeah, I just want the story about the Columbia in the millions of years ago, or however long it was.
Yeah.
And that, it's the rest is fine. Or they could change nothing, and it's its alternate timeline.
They could just go with it. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star
I mean,
Trek
we know it's an
Legends.
alternate timeline anyway. Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyway, I've talked about Destiny enough on this show over the years.
Same.
Yeah, but Vanguard is something that might actually is something that is not going to happen, but
I actually like Vanguard even more than I like Destiny.
there's more to it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
know, there's-
but
yeah,
no,
there's-
I think what I love about Vanguard is that it is a separate story with
Mhm.
separate characters. I think that makes it more interesting in a way.
Yeah,
Certainly makes it a
Yeah,
little
I
easier
agree.
too, because you would just be able to kind of bring these characters to life on your own.
Mm-hmm.
No preconceived
Mhm. You
notions.
could- pop them in and bring in. Oh, look, there's Kirk's in this episode because he was there, and we could learn all sorts of interesting stuff about.
Here's that one episode where
Marcus.
Scotty tries to buy liquor from the Orions.
Absolutely, yeah. Hey, Mariner taught him. No, Mariner taught the people on the Enterprise about the Orion, is
Sure.
it the hurricane, and
Yes.
then they taught Scotty, and then that lines up perfectly. That's fine.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we might as well just go right into what we were going to talk about, which is what we were
Yes.
talking about here, which is expectations and such. So I broke this down into 3 parts of continuing stories, what we know so far, and expectations and hopes, but really we don't need to stick to that by any means. But some obvious stuff that's going to happen. We're going to get a wrap up on the cliffhanger. Okay. Benjamin, what do you think is going to happen to Patel? Alive or dead?
I fear the worst, which is a shame because I actually really quite like that character, and I think she is the character with whom we get to explore the parts of Pike we don't already kind of vaguely
Yeah.
know about, right? Most of his interactions with the crew are things that I think all of us as fans kind of think we already know about Pike. And so seeing him with her is a different side of him that I quite find a little bit more interesting. However, I mean, she's really set up to bite it. And so unless it's like a difficult choice, like save the person or save a thing choice at the end of the cliffhanger, I kind of unfortunately feel like we might be exiting on that character.
Yeah.
That's where I'd put my money, which is a shame.
Yeah, I think so, but at the same time, why have it so that they kept her alive until the end of the episode and put her in stasis if she is just going to die? Like, why not just have her die? Like, she managed to get the Gorn to turn away to save them there, and then and then just have her die in the finale. Why did they keep her alive in stasis at the end if not to keep her alive?
Yeah, I'm of 2 minds. I've been like, since it aired, I've been like, oh yeah, she's gonna die because that's just how that's lined up. But rewatching it, I was thinking, you know, I mentioned Game of Thrones earlier, and I'll do it again. Game of Thrones, one of the reasons that the first season of Game of Thrones was such a thing was because all of the expectations were subverted, right?
If you've never read the books, yes.
Yes, if you've never read, which I'm going to venture to say that a lot of the people who watched the TV show, at least by the end of the first season, had not read the books. I hadn't.
I had neither.
Okay, I had.
Okay, well, you're a better nerd than I am, so...
I'd like to mark that into the record here.
I've never said otherwise. But you can mark it into the record. So like, one of the reasons that was such a thing was the subverted expectations. And the expectation here is that she's going to die, but the expectation in Trek is that people live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Trek is one of those shows that there's always a way to figure it out. I mean, there's two movies about bringing somebody back from the dead and getting them back home. So I feel like the modern expectation is that she's going to die, and subverting that expectation is Trek, and that she'll survive. My issue is, because like, she's a cool character and I want her to survive. But I can see where she wouldn't. My issue is, what does that do to the whole Pike Vina storyline?
Yeah.
That makes that even more tragic. Because if, like, let's say Batel is the love of his life and not Vina, right? Then he's stuck on Talos with his second choice, or whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah. But there's also the possibility that she survives, but there's something about... Yeah, something about this whole situation makes them realize they aren't working for whatever reason.
That's true. I was being very romantic there, I guess.
I had the same thought. I mean, that's why I kind of leaned my way as well, is that it kind of complicates the Talos story.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I like your optimism, though, Thad. I hope I'm wrong, Frank. I mean,
I would not be surprised if she dies.
I really hope I'm wrong.
Saying, it seems odd for them to have done so much to keep her alive and have her still be alive at the end of the episode if she is, in fact, going to die.
It could serve as a plot point for one of the medical personnel, for either Chapel or Mbenga, if they can't save her.
Yeah, but I could also see if they are able to save her, that becomes like also the big thing that gets Starfleet not to just immediately capitulate to the Gorn too.
Yeah.
I think one of the good things
is then, like, if they are able to save her, then now they know how to stop this, and that's a game changer.
And then somehow over the next 8 years, the Gorn turn into a joke.
I think something that I do trust with these writers, though, is that if we do lose that character, I think there's an opportunity for it to really impact some of the very young members of the crew.
Yes.
And I don't see this just being like a, typical make a joke and then we're done for the episode. See you next week. I think that the writers have a bit more subtlety than that. And so if we do lose her, I think it will be to a purpose, which would be interesting to explore over the full season.
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else in the cliffhanger? I'm trying to think that we want to discuss.
By the end of the cliffhanger, we're gonna find out the method to the madness of the Gorn, and method to madness. I think they lay the seeds, because I just watched the episode, but they lay the seeds. It's gonna have something to do with that solar flare.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a reason. They're not just gonna be mindless killing machines. There's going to be a reason why everything is happening, and we're going to realize, like, they're gonna learn that they aren't just the mindless enemy that needs to be destroyed. There's something else there.
Right. That has.
If we don't learn that, I'm gonna be really mad.
Well, and here's one of those places where it's like, they picked up this story knowing that they were going to have to somehow reconcile it with Arena. Which they don't really need to go that far. because that Gorn is not. It's been a while since I've seen Arena, but that Gorn is he's not a mindless killing machine, but he's also not
No.
sitting down and reading Shakespeare. So with Kirk, so they don't have to necessarily go too far, but they do
Right.
need to. Yeah, they do need to explain it. So
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's been great is that they've, because this show has been going for quite some time now and there's been so many breaks in between it, there has been plenty of time for them to, I mean, if the intention was truly to make it a different type of alien creature and just a mindless killing machine, I feel like they've probably heard how folks have felt about that. And so there's been plenty of time to nuance that if that wasn't necessarily the plan from the beginning.
I think it was the plan from the beginning too, but yes.
Yeah.
And I that's why it'll be really annoying if they don't do that, but at the same time I don't think that's going to happen. That's why I have also been, as usual, very annoyed with certain elements of the fandom that are just that have been writing the show off because of the Gorn. And it's like you're complaining about how it's shown now to our characters. It's going to be different by the end.
yeah, it's like I don't even know. There's so many the Romulans, Anyway, so I am looking forward to I'm looking forward to all of it. I'm just going to say that over and over again, so just get used to hearing it.
I mean, like I said, I just rewatched the show. I still freaking love the show. There are obviously there's parts of everything that I don't love, but just overall, this show is great, and there's so many fantastic episodes. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to season 3.
Well, it's indicative of how I know that I like the show is that we have this very interesting season-long build-up to a cliffhanger, and we're getting the resolution of that cliffhanger, and I'm just excited to be like, I'm sure it's going to be great, but I'd love to see what the next story is. Thank you. Like, I'd like to, and so like that's how I know that I'm going to enjoy it and that I have been enjoying it, because I'm actually quite excited to be like, okay, great, and then what's the next story coming? I'm excited for these next episodic chapters to be coming out week to week.
And we do know there's 10 episodes, right? Did they confirm that?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, we'll get into that. Right, Spock and Chapel. We know that continues.
Yeah, because we see him in the trailer.
Unless we have a situation like where we saw Kirk and Lon in bed in the trailer and it was the alternate universe.
That's true.
But, let's assume that that's not the case. Stakes are a little less different than Kirk sleeping with the great grandchild of the guy who wants to kill him.
We also still, I mean, that doesn't matter really.
No, it doesn't, but
we also still don't know that Kirk and La'an won't get together, because we know that some point around now Kirk is going to stop seeing Carol Marcus.
At her insistence.
Yes.
So that's God, we don't even establish if he was even there for David's birth, do we? I don't think that's not on screen.
We know he knows about David.
Oh yeah,
that's all we know, really.
Yeah. Okay.
I did what you wanted. I stayed away.
Yeah, and then Beverly Crusher looked at that situation and went, it's just better if I don't tell him. Yeah. Let's avoid all that.
I'm still mad.
Crusher said that Marcus.
I am too.
That Marcus lady, she's really onto something.
I am still angry
Great idea,
about
wrong
that
execution.
because that was no. You don't do that.
They explained it well, her fears, and I understand it, but it feels out of character.
Yeah. I understand it, but it was still the wrong choice.
And I feel like nowhere in that time did Wesley come visit her and smack her upside the head and go, really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like that by conjuring,
much less anybody else.
By conjuring the ghost of Candle Ghost of Beverly Crusher is basically just like rattling the bars of Thad's cage.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but it's same. We have the same aggravation on that. Anyway, right. So this, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. This, I think, 100% unquestionably proves that she was not only bringing him soup in amok time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and I think that's good. Yeah.
Soup.
She wanted to help. She just wanted to help.
Oh, she was
Yeah.
bringing him something
Yeah.
hot, all right.
You know that old slang, bringing the soup? We all know.
Some plomeek soup.
And then she brought me soup,
Sipping on that plomeek.
if you know what I mean.
And being the pop culture nerd that I am, you know what that just popped into my head
No
is
soup
the
for you?
yada. Well, close. Seinfeld. The thing about the yada yada.
Ah,
The
yes.
yada yada, the best part. No, I told you about the bisque. Okay, random. Anyway, every once in a while, I feel like we're a Star Trek focused millennial pop culture podcast. So there's worse things.
Only every once in a while.
Only every once
The
in a while.
vibe is present.
Meaning,
I feel like
4 or
that's
5
all
times
the
an episode.
time.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so I'm very interested to see how this goes. And like I this makes me sadder. How are you guys feeling about this? Benjamin, how do you feel about the whole Spock Chapel thing, knowing where it ends?
I think it's been very interesting, and I think that what I would like to see is a bit more from her perspective. I think we're getting, for a variety of reasons, but it's, people I think have a greater just cultural awareness of who they think Spock is. Just as I think I've said maybe before to Thad, that I think like if you ask the average person anything about Trek, Spock is probably the first person, even before Kirk, that people know about. And so
Yeah.
I think we've seen a lot from how does this affect someone who is indeed half human and half Vulcan trying to be more Vulcan. I'd like to get a bit more from her perspective on how is it to be dating someone who's trying to actively push down and tamp down things that are crucial to this relationship, in the way that humans think
Yeah.
about it, right? And so that's what I'd kind of like to see. I like what they've been doing, frankly, so far. It's been, I think, very maturely handled, and sort of Trek handled nicely. So I'm excited to see more about it, and I think that having it be a little tragic at the end is probably great. Like, it's a thing about people, and we've had a couple of examples of relationships where most of it is off screen and it's sort of implied. And if that's where we head by the time we get into sort of TOS, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah, and we know Roger Corby is still the elephant in the
Yeah.
hangar or whatever.
Yeah, and like life is messy and complicated, and maybe she doesn't love just one person, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
Well, we do kind of know that about her already, right?
Yeah.
I mean, also Pike, totally slept with the lady from the world that tortures children while he was also in some sort of situationship with Patel. So,
That's true.
to be clear, I'm not saying he cheated on her. I'm saying that they most likely had at that point in their relationship, were like, well, you're a captain off on this side of the galaxy, I'm a captain off on that side of the galaxy, sort of thing. I cannot possibly imagine Christopher Pike ever cheating on someone.
Gods, no. No. He's the type of person that would be like, I'm unhappy in this relationship, and I'm going to, if I have to wait 6 months to actually end it, I'm going to do that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't name a Medal of Valor after someone like that.
Right.
No. And also, it's the 23rd century. Stop being so puritanical, right?
Yeah.
People don't have to be.
Very much.
They're a lot more relaxed about sex. So. I had forgotten. Bringing that up, I forget, because we meet Batel right away.
Yeah. First episode.
Yeah. Because there was that moment where I was horrified and thought it was going to be number 1 in bed with him. And I think they did that.
I'm glad
everybody was. I think they did that on purpose. They did.
Probably, yeah.
So that would have been a whole other thing. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. The only thing we are a bit stuck in what we've been presented, which is Lovesick Chapel. And I realize, again, this is that 60s, the last line of the whole series. She could have been happy.
But she has agency this time.
Yes. So it's reconciling those things. So it's like, okay, she's made these choices in her life. We've all made choices in our lives that we've regretted. So I can reconcile what we see in TOS as her working through that regret and having to be confronted with it on a daily basis. But then she goes off and, takes a medical degree and basically kind of just goes, "Oh, hi, Mr. Spock," in motion picture and moves on with her life. So.
Your Chapel's an MD now.
I'm going to need a good head nurse. Not somebody's going to question everything I'm doing. Yeah. For the longest time as a child, I thought that because of that, I thought that when people became doctors, they had to be nurses first. I really thought that's how it worked.
I can see that.
I think there's a lot of nurses who would be like, and it should be.
You know what? Yes.
And they should.
Absolutely. Yes. Let's see. What else? We're going to get, more on Kirk as we've been getting. We know he shows up for at least that holodeck episode. Or maybe that's
I'm just thinking of that meme that's made up to look like a classic TOS novel, and it's Pike and Kirk, and it says, "Why are you always on my ship?"
Yes, I love that. I love that. And this is one of the places where we're just going to have to go, okay, the line where he says he only met him once is out the window, and that's fine.
They at least had that scene where he met him.
Yes. And he was the fleet commander, so that they took care of it, yeah. Yes. So there's more on that. Other than, I don't know, maybe running into Carol Marcus, seeing what happens with that. It'd be nice to actually see her cast.
I think that's all going to be off screen.
I think it is too, but,
Yeah, I think I'd like to see it, but it is one of those like, okay, we're already removed from our crew with Kirk, and then we have to remove even further, and so it's a story about someone who's not even like technically on the crew, which, I mean, that's kind of what's going to happen though as you continue to try to pull in these direct TOS characters and fill up the ship, right? It's going to start to happen that way.
Yeah. So we know that Scotty's around.
He's in the trailer quite a bit.
Yeah. Do you think he's joining the Enterprise, or he's just going to be around?
I think he might be joining the crew because, like I said, we see him in the trailer a bit. I don't think he's not going to be main cast, as evidenced by the fact that he's not in the poster. But no, I think he's probably going to be on the Enterprise now.
Okay. I mean, and that makes sense because his ship was destroyed, and
yeah, and I think that's a pretty easy way that you could make him integral to solving the problem, right? And then you have basically your chief engineer and your captain, like, we want that guy, bring him on the ship. Seems pretty easy to me.
Yeah, that's true. That sets him up to take over when Pelia leaves, because we don't know who the chief engineer was prior to him.
No, we never met
I
them.
think. Yeah. So it's okay.
We never saw one in the cage, and Scotty was already in Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Right. Well, and the cage would be.
Cage would have been before anyway, so yeah.
That's all right. I was about to say the same thing, and then I was like, no, that's before. So. Anything else continuing that I didn't?
Yeah, I added to the note of.
I'm sorry.
I put Cybok in there because.
Yes.
You can't tease us at the end of that season 1 episode and then never pay that off. He's got to show up at some point.
I forgot about that. Yes. Oh, right.
I hope so too, and I hope that if it is, they're really doing something with it. They need to have something to say about Vulcans and why Cybok would choose to not, right? Like, I would love to see it, or even I think it would actually just be hilarious if they just never mentioned him ever again. Like, it was just there to get people excited, and then they're like, nope, for the rest.
Yep.
Either a full episode about him or never speak of him again are sort of my preferences here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think they could. There is an easy place to go with that if they wanted to. I'm trying how to put this. His reaction against logic could very much be a result of what he saw happen to his family because of the logic extremists. Mm-hmm. It's a very that's an easy line to draw, it's a story that connects what we've seen before.
Absolutely.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like they've been showing lots of Vulcan stuff, obviously, but they're setting up that like we're gonna see more of the Vulcans that reject logic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they set that up a lot in the first season. And I feel like that's gonna continue to pay off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it
Yeah.
structurally
Maybe.
as just a way for them to sort of explore that we're moving away from this sort of older Trek model where depending upon what planet you grew up on, you're exactly the same as everybody else there, right? And so I'd
Right.
love if I'd
Monoculture.
love if the Vulcans were a way for them to tease that. But I think I just interrupted a great idea of yours, Chrissy.
Okay. Very random thought. Probably not going to be what happens, but okay. We saw that in the first teaser, that thing about was it Pike and Mbenga and a couple of other ones have to go do something so they become Vulcans and then they can't unvulcan.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Sybok might be involved in that.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Because then that's like, he could release their pain or whatever, however you put it. Because like the physical part could be doable with Chapel's serum. It's there's a psychological element. So, of course, we saw nothing of that in the other trailer, unless that's the episode that Patton Oswalt is in.
I'm guessing it's not. I'm guessing that's a different
I'm
one.
guessing Patton Oswalt is holding a bouquet of roses in that.
Yeah.
And I rewatched. I didn't catch that earlier, and I'm like,
Yeah. That's why I said he's I believe I called him an amorous Vulcan.
You did. That's right. Oh, maybe he's
like, is he gonna be a suitor of T'Pring's?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I was gonna say we met Stan already, so it's not Stan.
That doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't have multiple suitors.
100%. 100%, yeah.
Because we know a lot's going on there, because she and Spock are gonna at least somewhat get back together at some point.
Or at least have an agreement.
Yeah.
To meet up again.
I would love for that to be the assumption.
Yeah, I still cannot reconcile the T'Pring Spock story in Strange New Worlds to what happens in Amok Time. And I'm not sure if we ever can.
I can reconcile it. She's a bitch. That's how you can reconcile it.
But she's not.
but okay, like
that's the problem. She's not in Strange New Worlds.
Well, all right, but you take Amok Time. All right, Amok Time is a woman taking agency for herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is right. A woman who is stuck in this patriarchal situation where she's been forced into this marriage and she had no choice and all of that. And then we have it completely turned on its head because she's the one who does the proposing, because that's the traditional thing in Vulcan culture, apparently. And
and her parents oppose it, and
yeah. So yeah, she just doesn't know what she wants. She's.
And we also see that Vulcans can in fact just break up by holding up their hands and saying, "I break up."
Very logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, why? Why is Amok Time the way it is? Because anyway.
And it's not like Spock is doing it to please his father. We know that. So, yeah, all right. Well, I trust that they will reconcile this properly, but I think the end is just going to be that she's a bitch.
Or they'll go with the timeline is slightly changed because of all the temporal shenanigans, just like Khan.
That's such an easy out.
Oh, that's a point.
Ugh. I think maybe we just have to sit on this one like...
Brandon, if you're listening, we didn't mean that.
I think we might just have to sit on this one like...
Well, Brandon, if you're listening, it's still the prime timeline if it changed.
Yes, there you go. Sorry, Benjamin, go.
Oh, no, I think we might just have to sit on this one like the Gorn, right? Maybe they have a 5-season explanation. We're in progress. We're getting there, right? I think we might just have to put it in that column.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for reminding us that.
Best hopes, right? Because it also just might not be at all.
Yeah. But yeah, Sybok.
I mean, at the same time, it is a tall order to expect this show to completely align with everything that happened in a show from 60 years ago when the stuff that happened in that show from 60 years ago didn't align with itself very well.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Never forget. Oh, shoot.
The United Earth
The
Space
last
Program?
episode. What?
Oh, I was going to say the Captain James R. Kirk of the United Earth Space Program.
Yes, that too.
But you were talking Turnabout Intruder. Yeah,
Turnabout Intruder.
No, let's.
Yes.
You say never forget. I say always forget Turnabout Intruder.
Well, never. When you're talking about it not connecting to itself, that's when you.
So I actually don't view, and I feel like anyone who does bring that up is being disingenuous, because what she says is your world of Starfleet captains doesn't allow women, which does not mean there's a Starfleet regulation against women of captains. What she means is she wasn't allowed to be a Starfleet captain, and she's saying it's because she's a woman.
Yeah,
which is
that's a point.
different thing.
Yeah,
I think the wiggle there
and
is
it's
that
your world, as in this is Kirk's world. So that's yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, she's telling Kirk that he doesn't value women as captains, which is interesting and wiggles for.
Also, probably not true.
Correct.
But...
So I think we just leave it.
But
and she's not well.
But I immediately am able to accept that as Janice Lester wasn't allowed to be a Starfleet captain, and then she says it's because she's a woman, but that doesn't mean that's why.
Right, 100%.
For the obvious other reasons, she was not deemed psychologically fit to be a Starfleet captain.
Yes. Anyway, yes. Okay, so that's all the stuff that we can think of that can be continued. I'm sure as soon as this drops, someone will, message us and be like, "Hey, you forgot about," but that's all right. That's the conversation.
When do you think we're gonna get Sulu?
Ooh.
Yeah, who do you think we're gonna get this
toward
season?
the end? He's pretty young.
Yeah, but so's Uhura.
Yeah, and he's not Chekhov. I want to see.
We're not going to get Chekhov.
No, we're not going to get Chekhov. But I just want to randomly it just we're back on Earth, and here's this 12-year-old prodigy at the academy. That's all.
I love that.
But I think Sulu and Bones will show up at some point.
I think we're going to have the full deck by the end of the show. I wonder who's going to join
we will.
this season,
we will,
right?
100%.
So, I mean, I would love to see a Janice Rand this season or something, right? That would be nice.
Now, she's also extremely young, but yes.
But, yeah, she's not as young as Chekhov.
True.
I put her in her 20s. I mean, maybe I was wrong on that, but I've always taken... I know the timeline is slightly off in 09, but when Chekhov says he's 17, I've always just been kind of like, that fits. That works. Yeah. So
I was never that young. No, you were younger.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get Sulu this season, honestly.
Okay.
And we don't know. They're working on season 4. They haven't said anything about season 5, right?
It has not been renewed for 5 yet.
But that's been the standard.
That has become the standard, yes.
Yeah.
Based on the 2 shows that made it to 5 seasons.
Right. And in terms of the timeline in universe, if each season is a year, the most they could do is 7 anyway.
Right, but they don't have to do that.
Assuming, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see Sulu's entrance as an event. So, season 4 or 5, right?
Question is, will he join the ship as a botanist or a xeno? What was it? Astrophysics? Botany was his hobby, not his specialty. But he was in the science division in Where No Man Has Gone Before.
That's true.
All I know is I better see him with his backpack and a sword coming out of it.
And I want to see the hand plant.
Astrosciences was his.
Okay. Well, so that could be
head of the Department of Astrosciences.
That's a very large category.
Yeah.
Yes.
What if he enters the ship,
which could include piloting and navigation?
He enters the.
Sorry.
Oh no, he enters the ship, but it's clearly the actor with his hand in the puppet of the flower. You can just tell he only has one arm.
Mr. Sulu, what is that? It's my plant. I can't remember what that plant was called. Yeah, it's a hand plant. hmm Yeah, yeah, but Janice Rand, yeah, that would be good too.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about what we know that's new so far. We still haven't gotten confirmation that uh, uh, I was about to call him John Rhys Davies. He's definitely not John Rhys Davies.
Rhys Darby?
Rhys Darby.
Close.
I mean, John Rhys
One
Davies
name
has
in
already
common.
been in Star Trek, but yes.
Yeah, Rhys, we haven't gotten confirmation that Rhys Darby is Trelane, but I don't know what else.
I think it's pretty clear to me, based on that trailer, that the outfit and the fact that he snapped his fingers tells me that he is both Trelane and a Q.
Yes, and that actually that works in a way because in Those Old Scientists, when Boimler goes, "Oh, my Q," and Mariner says, "No, don't
They have a whole
bring up Q. They've
Trelane
got a
thing going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
So there's a historical reconciliation there. I don't know. That casting is perfect for Trelane. I don't know what else.
It would be quite the red herring for whom if this wasn't the case, right? Like, who are they trying to fool with all of this if that's not where they're headed? It'd be kind of deep.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
delighted. I
Yeah.
can't wait. It's going to be fun, I think.
Mm-hmm. 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 I want what's his name? It's not good. The guy who was the other pirate
Taika
who was
Waititi?
Blackbeard in the show. Yeah, I want him just to randomly be in the background. That would be hilarious.
He's just another Q for fun.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Listeners, if you haven't watched Our Flag Means Death.
I actually haven't yet.
Oh, you have. Oh, okay.
Do not walk,
Wow.
run.
There's one thing that I've watched that you haven't.
It is so
So,
good,
like,
Thad. What are you doing?
There are times when I get contrary and dig in my heels, and this is one of those where everyone and their brother and sister's son-in-law was telling me to watch this, so I haven't yet.
I understand that 100%.
I feel like this show basically
100%.
single-handedly revived Tumblr as a theory. Like, it was a show made for that platform, and it came right back.
It's the same reason why I haven't watched The Good Place yet. It's everyone was telling me to, and at some point I probably will, but it's just okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. No, gotcha. All right. Yeah, so looking forward to those shenanigans. We mentioned Vulcan Patton Oswalt already.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I love Patton Oswalt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here for whatever he does in Star Trek.
Yeah. 100%. And then we have a holodeck episode.
Directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Oh, that's right. I keep
and
forgetting
he
that.
says it is the best thing he has ever done for Star Trek.
Holy crap.
Yes.
Wow.
That's exciting.
So,
right?
I mean, better than First Contact, better than
apparently
anything he played Riker, and better than
I don't
Those
know
Old
if
Scientists.
he may only be talking about his directing and not his acting. I don't know.
Okay.
But even then, that means better than First Contact, better than Those Old Scientists.
Well, and just even as a director, I'm sure it was very interesting for him to stretch, right? Because it looks so different, and it probably has a different structure than he's used to for a television show. It's one of the things that I've loved about this show overall is that they seem to have a very strong point of view and mission to push as far as they possibly can outside what the expectation of Trek is, knowing that the bones are so good, people will go along with them. And so I hope that this is way out past what we have done with holodeck episodes before.
Mm-hmm. So here's the question, and I go back and forth on this. Is the 50s sci-fi thing part of the holodeck episode, or is that going to be a separate thing? It makes sense if it's part of the holodeck episode, but I could also see
I don't think it is.
not.
I'm guessing it's a different thing.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The direct quote was best episode of television he's ever directed. So it might not be quite as good as First Contact.
Okay, best episode of television. That's still a high bar.
Yeah.
That's still a
It's still
high
a
bar
very high bar. And
from
I'm
a
here for
man
it.
who has made a name for himself as a television director.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you think it's
I don't think 57. I think it's going to be something else. I'm not sure how they're gonna because there's you get a little bit where they're like trying to explain it, but like they don't really like in universe, but like we don't get the context of how they got to that point.
Right.
But no, I think it's going to be a different episode that's going to be unrelated to the holodeck murder mystery.
Okay. The holodeck murder mystery could be a voluntary thing.
Right.
Actually, now that we're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could be something that, like, I could totally see Pike being like, all right, I know I usually invite you guys to dinner, but instead we're going to do this thing.
Yeah, we're having a staff retreat.
Yeah. What would be fun, but people would complain about it being small universe syndrome, and it's not going to happen, is if the 50s sci-fi one somehow related back to the Antipresians from Prodigy.
It would
But
be
they're not gonna do
interesting, but I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. The timeline is off because that's from
Right.
later anyway. But it just
That is interesting, though.
just popped in my head again.
For sure. Yeah.
You can tell it's been a while since we've been recording on a regular basis because I'm just randomly like, oh, stuff pops in my head. I'm going to say it.
I mean, that's how
potentially censoring
I've always
myself.
done this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Me too.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought of disconnecting the two and thinking they're different things, but that would be great too.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not doing ADHD the podcast, what are we doing?
Millennials,
That's
the
an
podcast.
excellent point. And those go together too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I love it. Okay, so that brings then to this question. In the first season, we had, it's been a while since I watched all the first season. There was the one comedy episode for sure. The brain swapping.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was
Spock
another.
Amok, yeah.
Yeah. Was there another one that was obviously funny? I don't think there was.
Not really, no.
Okay. So then we had season 2, we've got, I would call Those Old Scientists comedic.
Yeah,
Sure.
And
I like how you say
Subspace
that
Rhapsody.
hesitantly, like, I would call it comedic, but I don't know if everyone would. I think everyone would.
Okay, everyone would. I say that because there are serious elements to it. It's not, you couldn't put a
sure.
laugh track on it,
I mean, there were serious elements to Spock Amok, too.
That's true, yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so, and then, Subspace Rhapsody, again,
Yeah.
There's comedy to it. It's not the same kind of thing.
I would say there was certainly a lot of comedy to Charades as well, despite it.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah.
So that's the other one that I was going to bring up. So this feels like it's lining up. Okay, so I assumed that the episode where Pike and them couldn't stop being Vulcans was going to be the comedic episode for the season, right? Mm-hmm. And then we find out that there's this murder mystery in a holodeck, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a comedic episode, but it feels like it might be. And then we have the 50s sci-fi thing, which does feel like it's going to be a comedic episode. Mm-hmm. So,
this is telling me we need longer than 10 episodes in a season.
That is true.
Like, you don't have to go back to the 26 episode grind, but there's a happy medium between the two.
Yeah, there's a Discovery 15
like literally
episodes
15 or 17.
Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think to your point, to me it feels like the writers of this show are particularly interested in branching out from what we would assume is Trek, and one of those things is that there's clearly some comedy writers on staff, and they can do jokes that aren't terrible and cringy like sometimes jokes in these shows are. And so I wonder if it's just one of these things of, testing the waters to see how far the audience will go with it. And it's very clear to me, at least, that the audience seems to be really enjoying it. Or if they don't, they've already sort of written off the show anyways. And so whatever.
Right. Yeah, we don't need that.
And so I think that, I hope that what we're seeing here is that they're feeling confident to just go for it whole scale, and maybe we'll be
Mm-hmm.
getting, every episode has some portion of comedy, and or there's 3 or 4 comedy episodes specifically, or there's, genre of another type every single season. And so by the last season, it'll
Yeah.
just be them doing absolutely everything they want to. I think that that's what I'm seeing, and I definitely am seeing the same thing, that it seems like there's more and more of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's the episodic show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they couldn't do this as easily with Discovery or Picard
No.
because, yeah, and I think audiences do like it. I think the Nielsen ratings reflect that.
Mm-hmm.
For season 2 of Strange New Worlds, got more episodes than the top 10 Nielsen of any modern of ever since the Nielsen started, which was I think with for Picard season 3 or because the Nielsen's didn't start doing streaming until I want to say, was it Strange New World season 1? Maybe that they Strange New World.
I
season
feel
1
like
because...
Picard was in there somewhere because
yeah,
there
Picard
was an
season
episode of
3
Picard that
definitely
was...
had Nielsen's.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
They started incorporating
Yeah.
streaming data into TV ratings starting in June of 2023. So whatever was after June of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but Strange New Worlds has season 2 had more episodes in the top 10 than anything before that in the Nielsen's, and I think specifically. I think more people watched the finale of Picard season 3,
Yes.
but which is not surprising.
No.
But more episodes for Strange New World season 2 made the list than
Yes.
Picard season 3 made the list.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just to be clear here, I'm not complaining that there's going to be. I think it's interesting that they're going in this direction.
Yeah.
Or it appears that they're going in this direction, and I love it. You know, it reminds me of how DS9 was kind of released from the shackles of being like that, which was before.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and that was, 99% good. So yeah.
Yeah, well, it kind of seems like their desire to have the original TOS people come in one by one is sort of their safety blanket, right? Of like, don't worry, this is Trek, don't worry, which allows them to branch out and do whatever they want for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
So something very random occurred to me as I was rewatching the trailer, is that in the Enterprise Romulan War novels, we get an explanation for why the technology seems to backtrack between Enterprise and TOS.
Yeah.
And we have this situation where they have to hook up phones in the trailer, which I adore. And I'm wondering if there's going to be some in-universe reason. If it's, and I don't think it's needed. Let me say that, but I don't think it's needed. But I do feel like it seems like there are people on the staff of Strange New Worlds that are willing to make those connections, and I love that. So I just want to put that out there into the universe, that maybe that's going to be an explanation for why we go from touch screens to gumdrop buttons.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I agree with you that I don't need it, but I do know that there are some people who need that, and so if you can use something that's already part of your storyline to achieve that goal, which this seems to be able to do, I think why not, right?
Yeah.
And so I could definitely, it would be one of the, it is certainly, if they're going to be doing that, that is the thing that makes the most sense to me from what we've seen so far. And I had the same thought too when I saw that. I was like, oh, is this going to be one of those like, we don't do holograms anymore because they've run out of fashion, and so that's why we don't have them.
Yeah.
I love you mentioning those Enterprise novels. I love those books. That's a nice pull.
Oh.
I was gonna say that's gonna circle back to something in a little bit.
Yeah. See, it's all part of the grand plan. I had that planned completely.
Yeah,
Really.
very
And also, that was an important thing for the beginning of the Destiny novels, because it was the start of the Romulan War, and the Romulan ability to take over technology was what caused the Columbia to go on that
Yes, indeed.
trip in the first
There you go.
place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How very cute of you. You're working outside of time.
Yes. Yes. Don't be so linear. And we kind of talked about this already. You know, how much Kirk are we going to see? We know he's in 2.
Yeah. Now you ask here if they're shifting away from Pike. I don't think we'll do that.
I don't think so either. I will be mad if they do.
I agree.
Yeah, but the question is worth.
I think we'll see Kirk in a few episodes for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we'll see him at least once. He's in the trailer. Yeah. But no, I think probably about as much as we saw him in season 2 is my guess.
He's in the 50s sci-fi one. Did we see him in the? He's in the murder mystery too, isn't he?
Was he? I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I think if anything, if his inclusion is greater, I think it will be him interacting with people from the original series, right? It'll be sort of him interacting with his crew. Just to maybe start making some linkages to things that we already know. But I would.
Oh yeah, because we see him having a drink with Scotty too.
Yeah, which that's cool.
Go ahead. Yeah. I don't want to see that shift away.
3 episodes of season 2. I think Tomorrow and Tomorrow. The one with the Uhura one with the creatures in the deuterium,
and
Space Rhapsody. I think that's it, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's probably something to that effect in
works.
season 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I've always just thought it must be such a weird role to do for an actor, because like every 2 years you get to come in for a very short amount of time to play a character that everyone in the world already thinks they know. Like what a bizarre gig.
I give him and Chris Pine a lot of credit for taking that on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all of the ones who take it on, but particularly for the big 3, you know, and we've only seen one other McCoy, right? Yeah, just Carl Urban, and he's so good.
And he was the real McCoy.
Yes.
Like, years ago, I did like a thing where I was like comparing and contrasting the various actors who played different things, and like, what I said was, I think for Spock, I said that Leonard Nimoy, I ranked it Leonard Nimoy, then Ethan Peck, then Zachary Quinto, and for and then for McCoy, I just said DeForest Kelley equals Carl Urban.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, whoever they get to be McCoy in this one. Oh, yeah.
Maybe they'll just bring in Carl Urban. That'll work.
My God, that would be so
Yeah,
nice.
why not? That'd just be fun.
I mean, The Boys is over, right? So
Yeah.
Man does TV. All right, bring him in.
Yeah.
I like the idea that he's like perpetually 50, right? Like no matter what time it is, he's like a middle-aged man.
Yeah. He is. In both attitude and physicality.
Yeah.
He is only 50 or older.
Okay, Carl Urban is currently 52, so he's the perfect age to play McCoy in Strange New Worlds, honestly.
Actually, yeah, because he is the oldest. I mean, McCoy was older than everybody else to start with.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was ever set out right, but you certainly get that vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not set out right. So yeah.
Okay, DeForest Kelley was 46 when TOS started, so yeah.
Yeah.
That absolutely works, especially when you take into account the fact that people don't age like they used to.
That's a smoking 46. That's not a
right.
That's a been through World War II 46.
Correct.
Right, exactly.
Everyone of that generation either looks like they're 100 or looks like they're 60. That's it. That's either you. Yeah. We have already talked about getting anybody else from the TOS crew. You guys talked about Sulu. We're obviously not going to get Chekhov unless it is some kind of weird, like, here's a child.
Right.
I do expect to see McCoy by the end, obviously. Again, if they don't do it the way we've described, with them walking into the turbo lift and walking out, I don't know what's wrong with them. So
I just had a thought. Do you think
Yeah.
we're gonna get a TOS actor cameo?
I mean, that's
Well,
what I thought with
I mean, George.
Oh, that's what I was immediately thinking with, like, we can't have Chekhov, and it's like, you can't, but you can have.
You could have Walter Koenig or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
He already did a voiceover for Picard.
He did. Yeah.
That would be nice.
I don't
Also,
think
Shatner claimed he was in talks to do something.
You mean that wasn't that ridiculous thing for Kotaku? or
No,
whatever it was?
not that. Not the AI thing. No, Shatner himself recently claimed he was in talks with Paramount to do something as Kirk.
I don't believe him.
I believe that someone from Paramount talked to him. I don't
I'm
necessarily believe that there's anything that's happening.
If they couldn't, thinking about what he was asking to be on Enterprise, and it's 20 years later, and yeah, I don't think they want to pay him what he would ask, honestly. Yeah. I think George Takei, I 100%, I would see him. I mean, he did the bit for Lower Decks,
Mm-hmm.
Of course he's going to bite you
now. Yeah, I mean, we're getting outside of the crew if we go beyond that, so
I think it'd be nice.
it would be interesting.
Oh man, what if, like, we meet a Gorn Elder and it's played by Bobby Clark.
Okay, who was Bobby Clark? Sorry.
Bobby Clark was the Gorn in Arena.
Oh, he's still alive?
He's still alive. He goes to conventions. He goes to STOV every year. He's actually going to be on the cruise next year.
Oh, please!
I love the idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because next year's the 60th anniversary, so they're doing Shatner and Koenig, but they're also bringing in Bobby Clark and the woman who played the Salt Vampire.
I like that you said
I love it.
that you said elderly Gorn for a character that's in a full mask, because the person underneath has gotten older. The rubber mask has to also get older on the outside.
Yes, exactly.
How else would we believe it? That's hilarious.
I love it. So, do you guys have any expectations, hopes? The opposite of hopes, like, I hope I don't see something, but maybe it will happen. Benjamin, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the strengths of the show is that because it is episodic by nature and because they have such a large ensemble cast, that, like, for me at least, when they've gone down a rabbit hole that I'm not particularly interested in, 20 minutes later we're already done with it and moving on. And so and that's helpful, right? Just to keep your audience. And so there's not really anything that I'm dreading. I think sometimes just from the nerdy aspect of it, the way that they use the universe is a little bit off for me. But again, they do it for 10 minutes and then move on. So, and then it's just a bunch of cool actors doing cool characters that I like. And so they've got the writers have got quite a lot of equity with me, and I would love to see what weird things they trail off on and what sort of genre specific things they can come up with, because I think that's really the strength of this show. So I'd love for them to continue to get weirder and feel confident in doing so.
Cool. Yeah. Thad, any expectations, hopes, anti-hopes?
I mean, I would say some of my favorite episodes of Star Trek in the last 20 years have been in Strange New Worlds. So, like Benjamin was saying, the writers have a lot of leeway with me. Anyone who can make some of those episodes like Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, or those old scientists,
Yeah.
they can do whatever they want, in my opinion. Am I going to like everything? No. But I'm sure there will be some that I really like, and that's the important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I I trust these people with the material. They have proven themselves to be trustworthy, and anybody that can make a musical work in Trek and make me like it. I'm not a fan of musicals. I trust them implicitly. Getting around to people from the TOS crew. I would love to see Chris Doohan do something.
Oh
here.
yeah.
No, obviously he's not going to play Scotty, but I would love to see him in it at some point for some reason. You know?
Like how he had a cameo in the 2009 film.
Yeah. And a place that they could do it is the Trelane episode, because of course he Jimmy Doohan was the voice of the orb that was one of Trelane's parents that was chiding him at the end and saying, "Go to your room." But I'd actually rather have John Delancey. If they're going to bring in Trelane's parents, I want John Delancey.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Great. I want that connection, even though it goes against, it kind of goes against Q squared, but I still want that connection.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see just a brief John Delancey cameo would be awesome in that episode. And speaking of that might be another comedy episode.
Mm-hmm.
That could be very comedic. But yeah, so I'm geeked out about this, and I'm just like, bring it. And then hopefully by the time the season is over, we'll have not too long of a wait for whatever's they're going to drop. Well, it's going to have to be Academy, right? There's nothing else lined up.
Which my guess would be early next year.
Yeah.
Well, here's my pitch. What if Chris Doohan plays Scotty's dad?
Ooh.
Oh, that would be wild.
The ages work, right?
I love it.
The ages work, right?
Yeah.
That'd be cute. I like that idea.
Well, and they can age him
he's
up a
currently
bit.
65, so yeah.
Oh, perfect.
That would absolutely
I know you're listening, Paramount. Yeah. Get this figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might actually be listening.
I wasn't joking.
I hope so.
Like we've joked in the past that there probably is an intern that listens to every podcast, especially the ones that they give press access to.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't joking. Get this done. Chris Doohan is Scotty's dad.
Yeah. I mean, it was us talking about the whole thing of having young Q turn into old Q on Picard that made that happen. That was nobody else's idea but ours. That obviously came from us.
Mm-hmm. And when Carl Urban shows up as McCoy, I want, my royalties, please.
Yes. Just a writer's credit, if nothing else. Nothing else.
That would be amazing.
Thad's royalties is just like a day pass to a con. That's.
I mean, heck, that would be fine too.
Yeah.
No. My royalties are background extra role in an episode. That would be.
Yes. And get to keep the uniform.
Yeah. Well, duh. I mean, whether I get to or not, come with me.
This is true.
You keep trying to ad lib a line and jump into frame with Ensign Pike. Ensign Pike.
Ensign Pike.
Ensign Mount.
Yep.
I do love Christopher Mount.
All right. Well, anything else we want to say about looking forward to what we're gonna get to see in a couple of months?
I just because I just rewatched the show, the watching the cliffhanger finale, this last time was the first time I actually legitimately enjoyed the entire experience because I knew that it was actually going to get resolved soon.
Yes. Yeah. Those this is making the summer of was it 90? Yeah. The best of both
Yeah, it
worlds
would've been.
summer. This is making
Yes,
best
yeah,
of both
would've
worlds
been 90.
summer seem like nothing.
I mean, I wasn't yet watching Star Trek at that point, so I missed out on that. But
It was intense.
I remember some of those Voyager and DS9 cliffhangers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But TV shows are not the only thing that gets produced in the Star Trek universe. Sometimes fans get to do things as well. So, Benjamin, I think you have a project you want to tell us about.
Yeah, I absolutely do. Thanks for letting me sort of share this with folks. We are starting a collaboration with the Tranquility Press here in June of 2025. I'm sure many of your listeners already know, but the Tranquility Press is a group of fans who are wish to provide fellow Trek world-building artists and authors a shared resource space in which to workshop ideas, collaborate on stories, and draw inspiration from different artists for different parts of Star Trek's universe. And so, this is not a real press. This is a group of fans, but they pull from any and all sources of Trek's history. And so, certainly, those are TV shows, movies, beta novels, Kelvin works, and of course, other fan works for inspiration. But the beauty of this is that the story comes first for them, and so they are following in basically the tradition of other fan collectives that we've seen in the past, like the Central Institute for Romulan Language or the Rihansu database, Spockanalia, that kind of thing. And so, if you haven't looked into Tranquility Press yet, I absolutely encourage you to do so. There's so much cool stuff happening over there, and they're very, very helpful in helping fan artists of all kinds sort of fulfill their projects. And so, tranquilitypress.com, or certainly you can join the Tranquility Press channel on Discord. And the project that I'm working on them with, I've been working on for about the last year, getting ready, is called San Francisco 2161, 47 Days That Changed the Galaxy and Created the United Federation of Planets. And so this is a novel-length story
Nice.
about the conference that started it all off and gave us our delightful UFP. And so we've been hearing about this obviously since the original series, and so for almost 60 years. And yet, even in sort of novel forums, they've really not taken a crack at it. And so I thought, of course, why shouldn't I? And so, yeah, it's going to be, it'll
Absolutely.
read like a fan novel, of course, in the tradition of other Tranquility Press works with, which again, people have probably already seen, but Edge of Midnight Project, the Battle Wolf 359 oral history fan work that was created, and then sort of the ongoing Earth and Romulan War story that's going on by PJ right now. And so, yeah, it's going to be really exciting. It'll be rolling out throughout the summer here, starting on June 1st. And you can find all of that either through the Tranquility Press or at my website, nascentnovice.com, NASCENTNOVICE.com. And so, yeah, between June 26th and August 12th, we'll be posting chapters and putting out sort of fake newspaper headlines and a bunch of other interactive things. And so feel free to join us over at the Tranquility Press Discord or at any socials. It's Nascent Novice for me everywhere, basically.
Excellent. And we'll throw the link in the description too. I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and I'm very, very excited to start to get people's impressions. But we have a lot of other really cool people. Thad is one of a group of beta readers who's gotten sort of notes in there, and so it's really been a collaborative effort. Really, really supported by these people.
Well, I have access. I actually haven't read yet. I'm sorry.
Just go with it. Yeah, very collaborative, very cool group of people over there, and so I look forward to people seeing it starting in June here of 2025. But thanks for letting me chat about it.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Of course.
As big time Star Trek novel fans here, we definitely appreciate projects like this.
Yes, those Enterprise Post novels have been very supportive and helpful in my thinking about what things might be like at the time. I'll say that.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like we'll be getting any more of those, so.
No.
Which is annoying because the Enterprise novels are the ones that they could keep doing.
Yeah, they got room for like 300 more novels in there before anything starts happening.
When they got rid of the when they shut shunted the Litverse off into its own pocket universe or whatever, pocket book universe maybe.
Yeah.
They left the Enterprise novels still available for continuing work because it's
Yeah,
not
there's
like,
nothing.
yeah, but there hasn't been an Enterprise novel since what, like 2016, 2017, something like that.
It's been quite a long,
If
yeah,
even
it's been a
then.
while.
Yeah.
Well, if you like Thad, need more Enterprise, if you like Thad, need more of those books, feel free to join us over at Tranquility Press,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
and we can help you write your own if you
Yeah.
want. That's kind of the point. So,
Ooh. I have ideas.
awesome.
Do you guys have any nonfiction stuff up there?
Well, in fairness, that is the sort of way in which this book is written, is that it's supposed to read like a pop history book, right? And so it was
Right.
I can't remember who, but it was one of the creators, I think, starts calling them fan nonfiction. Is how how this reads. But no,
Okay.
no, there's several other projects ongoing as well, in sort of various stages of completion.
I can particularly recommend from Tranquility Press. I really enjoyed the Wolf 359 project. That was
Yeah,
Mhm.
great.
amazing,
Mhm.
And Edge of Midnight is also
absolutely
pretty good.
amazing.
Yeah, I have not read Edge of Midnight yet. I have read some of the Wolf 359 one, and I really enjoy that, both from the Trek perspective and the presenting this as a type of history, or a historical source
Hmm.
perspective. They did a really nice job with that. So yeah. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about before we wrap it up?
I think that pretty much covers it.
You good?
I'm excited for Strange New Worlds in exactly 2 months.
Okay. From when we recorded this, listeners, it's going to be a
Yes.
little bit
Yeah,
past that, but yes.
Yeah, even better
yeah,
for
new
you.
Trek is coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, Benjamin, I know you gave your handles already, but just one more time, where can listeners find you online if they want to chat?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much nascent novice across all platforms. Again,
Okay.
it was cute when I saw it, but I have to spell it out: NASCENTNOVICE, because no one knows how to spell it. Mostly these days
That's all right. I
yeah,
understand.
mostly these days I'm on Blue Sky in terms of socials, but certainly feel free to email me or join the Discord channel when that opens up for the project if you want to talk about that specifically. But otherwise, yeah, mostly Blue Sky nowadays.
Cool. All right. Well, Thad, where can people find you when you're not uh, devising a way to keep Captain Battelle alive?
I mean, I'm not much of a doctor or a scientist, so that if I'm in charge, she's definitely dying. Uh, but you can find me mostly on Blue Sky. I am Tyrannicus, tyranicus.bsky.social. Or is it at BSKY? I can never remember how that. Anyway,
Go
Tyrannicus,
to Blue Sky and type in
Tyranicus.
Tyrannicus. Yeah.
Yeah. uh, and it I think it is it's at bsky.social is how they do it because it's at the domain. Like, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
just type Tyrannicus. And you can also hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl called License to Spiel. That's license spelled with a C, like the British do it. Where we started out talking about James Bond, talked about other spy things, and now, when we ran into that, we are now doing Columbo. Our episode on Suitable for Framing just went up yesterday, actually. So
Cool.
check that out if you're interested in hearing me ramble more. Chrissy, where
As
can
well, they
people
should.
Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not having to deal with 1950s technology?
Uh, there's somewhat of an advantage to that because you can take it apart and fix it.
It's true.
But yeah. Right. In addition to here in Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Zloggies here on the BQN. That's that twice weekly short history podcast I do with my fellow historian partner Jason, which I swear to God will be returning. sometime during the summer. I'm also happy to chat about our shows in the BQN Collective on Facebook, and I'm on the various socials as the Goddess Livia, that's TheGoddessLivia, where you can see my opinions about Star Trek history and leftist politics, and more of that last category.
Don't forget all of our other great shows on BQN Podcasts. Here's a recording of Amy to tell you all about them.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristen. Whether you've got Xbox or Nintendo, check out Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey and Mitch, self-proclaimed gamers who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. Grab your popcorn as you listen to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed but should definitely check out, hosted by Mark and Matt. Don your apron for The Food Replicator, where Matthew eats and drinks his way through Star Trek Cocktail and 3 cookbooks. Beam Aboard Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Steven. In order to not repeat it, listen to History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissie and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissie and Thad. Curl up with a good book and delve into beta canon with Peter, host of the Trek Book Club on Twitter and Blue Sky, and his companion Trek Book Club podcast. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey and MC. If you're a member of Starfleet Federation or Planetary Union, go check out Union Federation, covering current Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Head over to YouTube and watch The View Screen live on Sundays, your Trek-inspired talk show hosted by Calvin and Amy, with new 8-week seasons in the spring and fall. Spill the tea with Christos while he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with an LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea Bev. And for our patron members, we have the Hive Mind with script readings and roundtable discussion, It's Green, a cornucopia of topics, and Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek. You can keep up with all of these shows by following the network at BQN Podcasts on Instagram and Blue Sky. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark White for the awesome short. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
If you want to reach out, you can find the network on the socials at BQN Podcasts, or our show specifically at Idic Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective. Oh, and just a reminder for our listeners, if you are going to Trek Long Island at the end of the month, I will be there, and I'll have a table for Infinite Diversity, so come talk to me.
Yay!
You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, and join our Discord server. When you next hear from us, we'll be talking about new episodes of Star Trek, y'all. Strange New Worlds coming soon. Until then, peace and long life.
Kira cat is doing yoga. You can't see it good.
Aw.
Anyway. She's actually sitting still. I'm astonished.
Well, she's
Right.
charging in the sun.
Good point. That's why she's still. You're going to have zoomies later, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Okay.